Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is DOMINIC IZUCHUKWU. I'm super excited about this channel. It's here to tackle the problem that may hinder the progress of good relationship, including addressing those bad norms that the society has normalized, though they are not right. Please, if you're watching this video, turn on the notification button, subscribe, like, share and comment. So let's get down to the business of the day. Today's topic, I titled it, What Intending Couples Should Know Before Getting into a Relationship. What intending couples should know before getting into a relationship. You know, the society we are in has made it in such a way that when someone is grown, be it man or woman, he or she is all to be in a relationship. But that's not what it should be. Someone gets into a relationship when they are prepared for it. So I call it the 6 things one should know before getting into a relationship. The 6 things one should know before getting into a relationship. The 6 must know. Number 1, the person must have a good relationship with God. Good relationship with God. The person must be a true believer. Mind you, I never say the person must be going to church. There's a wide difference between someone who goes to church and a true believer. The church is like a hospital. Everyone comes there for treatment, right? But who gets better or who responds to treatment? That's who actually is a true believer. So that being said, it's so funny when people say, does someone who is not a believer, don't the person deserve love? Of course they do, but with their likes. Because 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, do not be yoked together with an unbeliever. For what do righteousness and wickedness, light and darkness have in common? Nevertheless, 1 Corinthians 11:3 threw more light to this with an order of hierarchy, whereby people have to submit to each other. It says, for I will have you know this, that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So, being an unbeliever removes the person from the order of hierarchy, because they do not have anyone they are submitting to. Being a Christian automatically subjects the couple to an order of hierarchy and willingness to submit and respect. So it's always a problem when a believer gets into a relationship with an unbeliever. Imagine a situation whereby an unbeliever, a man, gets into a relationship with a believer, a woman. Christ has missed as the head of the hierarchy. So the man has no one to submit to. Automatically the girl is submitting to someone who has no one is submitting to. My best take is for the intending couple to find their likes. If there is any possibility of them getting into a relationship, a believer should stick with a believer and an unbeliever with an unbeliever. Number 2, what's the vision of the relationship? A relationship must be defined. There must be a purpose for building the relationship. I normally refer to a relationship with a vision to a car with diesel filled to the brim. The possibility of the car getting to its destination is high, but a relationship without a vision is likened to a car without a diesel. The possibility of the car getting to its destination is not certain. Amos 3:3 speaks volume to it. It says, can two work together except they be in agreement? So they have to be in agreement that they are heading somewhere. The moment a relationship seems not to be heading anywhere, it's best they go their separate ways, because I've seen a couple who have spent 6 to 7 years in a relationship that is leading nowhere. Now it becomes a case of self-pity. I'm sticking or staying with you because we have stayed longer in this relationship, notwithstanding how they are being treated, which is not what is supposed to be in a relationship, right? It's something one projects his or herself. That's what's our plan in the next month, what's our plan in the next 6 months, what will be our plan in the next year. So the moment a relationship does not have a vision, it's always good that the intending couple go their separate ways and then find someone who has a vision to direct them to where they are going. Number 3, trust. There must be a high level of trust among the intending couple. You know, I used to hear people say often, if he is not jealous of his woman, or if she is not jealous of her man, that means they do not love each other. Whenever I hear that statement, my reply has always been, what happens to I trust him not to do this, or I trust her not to do that? Not trusting each other can actually lead to insecurity, jealousy, Or worst case scenario, to the extent where the couple start living in fear. I've seen a case where the man ritually suspects the woman every move. To me, she is living in bondage. That's literally what she's doing. She's living in bondage because any relationship that makes anyone not to be free to express his or herself is the person living in bondage. So it's always right for them to end it and enjoy some amount of freedom or some amount of peace, because any relationship that lacks trust is dead before it started. Number 4, someone who can easily be influenced. Anyone who cannot stand his or her ground to make certain decisions has no business being in a relationship. Let's take it down to the scripture. Matthew 19:4 verse 5. Let's start with verse 4. And Jesus answered and said, haven't you read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female? Verse 5. For this reason shall a man leave his parent and cleave unto his wife. Accepting to be in a relationship means that one is ready to take certain decisions for his or her partner to achieve a common goal. Do not get me wrong. There are certain times one requires to seek the consent of his mentor or anyone they look up to or their spiritual father before taking some certain decision or tackling some problem. But on a constant basis, that becomes a problem because they are assumed to have gotten to of age to take certain decisions for themselves. Imagine a case where the man had to seek the consent of his parents before discharging his financial responsibilities or addressing an inner issue between him and his woman. Now the lady had to seek the consent of her friends before addressing her daily activities in the relationship. It becomes a problem because they have no business being in that relationship. They rather end it till they have grown to be in one. Number 5, being abusive. People think that abuse is only when it's physical. But abuse can be in many forms, be it emotional, verbal, or the popular physical abuse. But I do not care in what form an intending couple is likely to face. Abuse is abuse. Men and women go through abuse. But in some cases, the society have made it in such a way that the men lack the balls to speak out. Some people will actually not lay their hands on their partner, but the words they use hit so hard that they break them on a daily basis. There is this popular statement on the street: if he does not hit her, that means he doesn't love her. Beating is part of love play. How? Whose concept of love is that? Whose definition of love is that? Because the biblical definition of love that I know, 1 Corinthians 13:4 says that love is kind and love is patient. So if truly they love each other, they have to be kind, they have to be patient. My best option for any intending couple facing abuse is to end it. Because any intending couple facing abuse today will be likely to be abused tomorrow. Abuse never ends. You rather end it or it ends you. Number 6, being faithful. Sometimes we think that unfaithfulness is only when one cheats, right? But it goes way beyond that. We're in the social media era. How many times have you been in relationships, sneak into someone's DM to compliment them? How many times have you admired someone else's picture that is not your partner with an intention written all over it, and you quickly delete the conversation? So those little things are the things we neglect and we think they are normal. But actually they are the things that generate to cheating. One, being with his or her partner gives them a high level of decency. Boundaries has to be set. There are some certain conversation one shouldn't entertain for the love and respect they have for their partner. So, as an intending couple, you observe any unfaithful behavior from your partner. It's for your best interest and that of the relationship that you end it, because cheating never ends. Trust me, it never. If someone is a cheat today, it will only metamorphose as the relationship keeps going. You rather end it because you actually deserve better. This is what I titled the 6 things one should know before getting into a relationship. I hope you enjoyed this section because this is where I wrap it all for today. Please, like I said earlier, turn on the notification button, subscribe, like, share and comment. Till we meet again, it's bye from me.